December. My name is Julia Doherty and I run a wiki company called Green Umbrella Social Media for Business. And I see it as my job to keep you ahead of the game when it comes to everything to do with social media. I produce a weekly video on YouTube, or some people call it a vlogcast, so remember to click subscribe to automatically receive these tips into your inbox each week. Although I do need to tell you that this is actually my last weekly video for 2012, as I'm away now until the new year. So please make sure you check in 2013. Blimey, that sounds weird, 2013. So a big welcome to our 17th episode, and what exciting things have I got in store for you this week? Well, it's actually been quite a busy week in the world of social media, so I had to pick the top things that I thought were of interest. So the first one is that Quora, I don't know if you've heard about Quora, but Quora activities can now be shared on LinkedIn. I'm going to explain a bit more about that in the slides coming. Facebook announced the ability to repeat an event, which is a big plus. Instagram disabled Twitter integration. There's now like what they call a cropped version. And a summary of the top social media marketing tips for you this week. So Monday through to Friday, I'm just going to whiz through those. And of course, as always, I have a groovy tool for you to play with this week. So without further ado, let's check out Quora on LinkedIn. For those of you who are not familiar with Quora, then please let me explain. Quora is a social networking site where you can ask questions and you can answer questions, or you can actually write full articles and get online, appear as like an online expert in your field. There are all types of categories that you can get involved with, from technology to writing to politics, design, a whole bunch of topics. Now, what makes Quora unique is that they offer you credits for people liking or commenting on your questions. It will cost you about 50 credits to ask a question. Therefore, you need people to comment on your question to enable you to ask more questions. You can get extra credits by answering questions as well. So this makes the whole site extremely credible, as people do not talk about what they have for breakfast. And by the way, when I say credits, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just a good way of saying you're good or a bad person on Quora. It's a little bit like the answers section on LinkedIn. Anyway, this week Quora have got together with LinkedIn, and now any activity on Quora can be not only shared on Twitter and Facebook and WordPress, it can also be shared on LinkedIn, which is absolutely fantastic. The best thing about it is though, is that you can have an iPhone app, so download the iPhone app with it. That's probably one of the main reasons why I actually took up an account. I must admit though, I've only just opened up my account, so if you do check me out on there, you'll only see one post on there at the moment, but I'll let you know how I get on with it. I love this. Facebook announces repeat event facility. Yay! Drumroll please. For those of you who run networking events or regular training sessions, then this feature in Facebook is an absolute godsend. When users click Create Repeat Event from a drop-down menu on most event pages, Facebook will automatically populate a new event dialog with details from the last event, and that actually includes the invite list as well, so you haven't got to go through and select people to invite again. You can then change the date or any other details if necessary. The good thing is that users cannot use this repeat event feature for events created by pages that they're not administrator of. So for example, if you've got a competitor, they can't recreate your event and then just change their details to their own. So that's quite cool. The only thing that I was a little bit disappointed is it's not like, like a normal app that you have within your iCal or your Microsoft Outlook, where you can repeat something once every Monday or once every Friday or every 2 weeks. You can't do that. You have to repeat it once, change the dates, and then you can repeat it again, but you can't set it as to an automatic repeat. So perhaps this is a feature that they'll look into next year. Let's hope, fingers crossed. Well, this was an interesting one. Instagram disables Twitter card integration. Now, most of you might know that I'm actually not an Instagram fan, but when you click on an Instagram link from Twitter, you might see nowadays like a cropped stroke weird looking preview instead of the whole picture. And that's because Instagram just wants to send you straight to its website, but Twitter won't let it. So now you have to click twice, which is a real pain. Isn't Web 2.0 just the best? Personally, I'm not an Instagram user, but I certainly feel that Instagram is shooting themselves in the foot with this one. They do not have the audience or the customer in mind. And it's a given knowledge that more clicks that a user has to do will just dilute the conversation or dilute the sale. Duh. Each week I put together a tip of the day covering different social media platforms from Monday through to Friday. So here is a summary of this week's tips. The full versions, by the way, can be viewed at audioboo.fm/Julia Doherty, which is the one right at the bottom there, and they're all less than 2 minutes long. So let's have a look at Monday's tip. Monday's tip was all about Facebook. Facebook are now being very strict on personal and business cover photos, with lots of cover photos are simply disappearing on a personal profile, and even worse, Facebook business profiles are being removed if they're breaking the rules. So check out the audio boo just to find out what the rules are and to make sure that you comply. Tuesday's tip is always focusing on Twitter, and this week I explained how to add a little Santa hat to your Twitter profile, or otherwise known as your avatar, by going to something called Twibbon. So check out www.twibbon.com and have a play. Well, Wednesday's tip is a golden nugget about LinkedIn, and I'll focus on the all-important LinkedIn profile and explain to you how to edit your website address and dump the default that says company website. It just looks so naff. So check out the audio boo to find out how to do that. Thursday's tip of the week is all about Pinterest. So if you have a product or a service that has a cost, then why not showcase this on Pinterest by adding a price tag to each pin, just like I've shown here. I do explain how to do that in the audio boo, but it's quite easy, so remember your price tags on Pinterest. And each Friday I give a tip about blogging. Now this week I shared with you an excellent blogging tool for WordPress called Zamanta. It allows you to add copyright-free images to your site, it gives you ideas for new content, you can add tagging, related articles and lots of other stuff as well. It's free, so it doesn't cost anything, and I use this tool every single day for Green Umbrella and for our clients as well. So I urge you to check that out. That one's called Zamanta. That's my roundup for this week. If you have any questions, then why not use my new tool on my Groovy site list that I want to share with you this week. I was listening to this podcast this week, and this guy had loads of people who were phoning in and leaving questions for him, which he then played back and answered as part of his podcast. I was a bit intrigued when he said, visit my website and record your message now. I thought, oh, how does he do that then? Well, after some investigation, I ended up on this website called SpeakPipe. This is a totally free piece of software which not only integrates with your website, but there's a Facebook app for it as well. So people can leave you questions or messages via your Facebook page. And I think it's really cool. So I put it on mine. So if you go onto my website, on the far left-hand side, you can now leave a message. And it's also on our Facebook page, and I've called it Send Us a Voicemail. So here's your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to record a message for me. You can go onto the website green-umbrella.biz or visit the Facebook page and send us a voicemail. Make sure that you use the opportunity to promote yourself and your business as well. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm then going to incorporate your questions into my weekly videos starting in January. I might put them into podcast versions as well, I'm not quite sure yet. Anyway, that's Julia Doherty from Green Umbrella checking out for another week. So that's Julia Doherty from Green Umbrella checking out for another week. I hope you enjoy these videos, and if you feel that they are of interest, then please take 2 minutes to click the tweet button or Facebook button and share this with your audience. Have a fab week, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!